Grace and peace, everybody. Give me a couple of seconds. Y'all know how I am normally getting on here. Make sure I got this thing. Knock that thing out first. That always comes up. All right, and I want to see it on the phone too. Do me a favor, just type one down there. I want to make sure y'all hear me. Shalom, great Joe's daughter. Grace and peace. Lot, how y'all doing? I want to talk about, they wanted some attention. They got attention. I want to talk about this whole Black Hebrew Israelite, this hate group thing. Of course, the media done took this thing and they're gonna run amok. Joe's daughter, they're gonna run amok. And you know, the church is right behind them. I was looking at a couple of posts. One brother said that, you know, being that the way those guys represent themselves, it's not hard to believe that they went and just killed up a Jewish center, a Jewish deli. Yesterday in New Jersey, I'm in New York, but yesterday in New Jersey, some they said there was a U-Haul truck that was parked over by the cemetery, and the U-Haul truck looked suspicious. That's what D's, we call them D's. That's when or officers, or you know, sometimes they ride around anti-crime in unmarked cars, and they would ride around and they said that they saw these guys looking suspicious, and they came up to them. Guy pulled out a long gun, hit the cop, and killed him. They drove a couple of blocks away, maybe a mile, 3/4 of a mile, and they got out of the car with long guns, big hammers. So in the city, up here, we don't really come out with big hammers like y'all do in the South, AKs, ARs, and all of that. We got small guns, of course. You know, our laws are a little different from y'all down in the South. So they get out with long guns, and they went to a Jewish deli in the hood, in a Black neighborhood, but apparently it's, you know, gentrification is starting up, and they went into a Jewish deli, and that's where they got it on with the cops. They killed a couple of people in the deli, shot another officer, and they end up dying right there. But they said it was a pipe bomb inside the U-Haul truck that was stolen. They got plenty of stolen vehicles in Jersey. There was a pipe bomb in there, and there was a manifesto, and they said one of the gentlemen were connected. One of the gentlemen was connected with the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. We don't know to the depth of it, but the mere fact that they claimed that there was some type of manifesto. We got to be careful when we out here dealing with these people. First of all, y'all people know that y'all that there's a lot of people that, you know, took their DNA, and they, you know, they believe in the law, statutes, and commandments, and they don't go with anything that those camps talk about. But it's going to be a problem. It's things like this that's serious, that's going to be a serious, serious problem, because we've been talking for the last couple of days on Christian Zionism. Let me see if whilst I'm talking, I can share the screen. Maybe I can do that. Let me see if I can do that at the same time. That'll be good. Y'all know I'm just getting into this thing here, but I think I'll be able to do that. We've been talking about Christian Zionism. We've been talking about Zionism in general. And we got a lot of people out here that saying, let me see how much I'm sharing on this. I think I can tell from my phone. We got a lot of people out here that's saying, that's how come I often ask for, well, what do you feel? Because this is very important to people in the church, people in the world at large. There's no place for hatred in this country, and we're hearing stuff like that. A lot of people feel on Jewish Defense League, Southern Poverty Law Center, a lot of organizations that's led by European Jewry, they're saying certain things, that there's more and more Black people saying that the people in Israel do not belong there. They don't have rights to that land. Grace and peace, Shalanda. They don't have rights to that land. They're the wicked, fake Jews. Now, that's dangerous in and of itself. And we got a bunch of guys that's on the corner in America, throughout America. Now they're in Jamaica and popping up in other places and saying the European Jews that's in Israel don't belong there. And basically they're trying to tell the world that Israel don't have the right to exist as a nation. When you say certain things, you bring light to yourself. You bring light to your group. You bring light to your organization. This is what a lot of these camps, various camps, believe. Matter of fact, most camps, I don't even know of one camp that don't believe this. I don't know of one camp that don't believe this, and you know, they're going to bring up, the media is going to take something and run with it. They're going to bring up the whole Covenanton thing. with the, the guys out there arguing with the kids and calling these white folk the devil that the Bible speaks of and hollering and reading scripture. Now, I always tell people, no one's here to defend these guys. I always tell people we got to be careful, don't lump them together. But I see my Christian folk, I see my Bible thumpers, they already on their thing. These guys did it, they did it for sure. Forget false flag. We're going to talk about false flag operations and all of that stuff. We're going to get into a little bit of all of this stuff. Perry said it's dangerous because Black people get labeled by Black lives, all right, by extremists. And we got people that's extremists out here, and we're going to have people that's going to bunch everybody together. I'm going to ask you something. Grace and Peace Johnson, I'm going to ask y'all something. Let me see. I don't know if this thing, I'm not sure if I'm sharing this thing. I'm going to ask y'all something. I'm going to switch screens, then I'm going to click the share. I'm going to ask y'all something, though. Do you think there's I'm from up here in New York and in Queens and stuff. Not Queens, and when I was growing up in Brooklyn, we were close to Crown Heights. There's more Jews in New York City outside of Israel in New York City than anywhere else in the planet. So we've been around in City Jew. We've been, we grew up around them, and we see a lot of stuff, and it's, it's always been some tensions, but they've been living in Crown Heights. I'm from Bed-Stuy, but that's a neighborhood over. They've been living in Crown Heights. It's been some tension here and there. But I want to ask y'all a couple of questions before we even go in. Grace and Peace, Pastor Mark. I want to ask y'all a couple of questions, though. Hit me if you want to jump on here, Pastor. Hit me if you want to jump on in Messenger. I want to ask y'all a couple of questions. Do you think because of books like The Nation of Islam was pushing the secret relation between Blacks and Jews, do you think Black people have a special disdain or feel a certain type of way about Europeans in general, but specifically Jewish people, European people that's of Jewish descent, can I say? Do you think there's something that's extra? And I'm saying this for a reason, because besides books like The Secret Relation Between Blacks and Jews, and you hear the conscious community talking about the slaves and the Jews were behind the funding. Now we know Isabella and Ferdinand in the 1490s ran the Jews out and took a lot of their money and stuff, took their maps and stuff. But some people are saying they were the main ones that were leading out the slave trade. I have not found that in research, but I know that Jews, when it comes to European Jewry, Jews helped a lot of people in the Talmud. A lot of people feel that Jews help spread the hatred that we have on this planet, that other nations, specifically Europeans, have on this planet towards Black people. Why is that? Because the Babylonian Talmud, and I bring up the Talmud for a reason, there were Jews that were practicing Judaism that were light-skinned, brown-skinned, look Middle Eastern, or whatever you want to call them, but they did not look like Cushite. They did not look like people like myself. And they said that in their religious texts, that's extremely important. As a matter of fact, a lot of people say Talmud is above the Torah. The Torah is the Bible. The Talmud is the interpretation of the Bible that the rabbis had. They said that on the ark, Ham copulated. The Black man had a larger penis and big lips because he did nasty stuff on Noah's ark, and God cursed him. And this is where dark skin come from. Later on, King James commentators, King James people, later on, when the slave trade was jumping and the Catholic, the Dominican Catholic priest and all the rest of them put their mouths on Blacks during slavery, when European slaves from Europe were escaping and blending in with the other freed people over here, they said, listen, we can knock this whole thing out. When the Indians were falling out in the sun and dying, they said, we know where we can get some strong people from. To help justify it, the Bible scholars ran to the Jewish Talmud, and the Talmud said that God cursed the Black folk. And that's one of the main things that have a lot of Europe hating people, and most of Europe justified and said that they were Christians, and they jumped into the slave trade, and they called themselves Christians. I'm not going to stay on here long with y'all. I'm gonna put that link in there if y'all want to bless us. I'm not going to stay on here long because my man and I know I was 2 hours the other day, but there's some things I want to share with y'all. I got my Patreon people. Shout out to y'all. We thank y'all for the support. But there's some things I want to share with y'all. So that comes from, and that's what I tell people that's involved in this whole Israelite movement. Y'all keep running to the 13th tribe, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th century. There were European Jews. There were light-skinned Jews that was controlling the religion. Just pull up when the Babylonian Talmud came. That's a fair thing to do. The Babylonian Talmud, it was not black people that was ruling the religion that we call Judaism, and that was before the 13th tribe, before that book, before the 8th and 9th century. There were light-skinned Jews that said black folk was cursed. Y'all hear me? Now, we're going to talk about Jews, but I'm bringing this out for a reason. I'm not confused that plenty Jews turned around here, gave y'all DNA, so the Jews helped y'all. Jews helped form the NAACP. Oh, I'm not confused about this history. We got this thing tight. Barry checking them. Y'all know it's Jews that done help about 40 black men get up off of death row, get out of the penitentiary. That's just up here in the north. Besides what they doing down in the south, the Innocent Project is ran primarily by Jews. Oh, Jews helping black folk get off death row. So Jews been putting in work on both sides of the fence. That's how come I tell people we got to give them, if we're going to give history, we got to give all of the history. Jews helped in the Underground Railroad. I'm talking about white Jews. White Jews helped form the NAACP. White Jews was hand in hand with Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Was down with them other cats, this Prince Hall and all that down in Mississippi. White Jews were down with that. Yeah, we gotta be careful what we running around here doing, what we running around here saying. And I'm just putting it all out on the table. Let me read some of this stuff before I go on, because I know I could get the rambling, then I'm missing everything everybody is saying. All right, I see what you just said. Don't have the legit claims to the name of Israel. However, that gives nobody the right to kill them. Okay, I guess that's a side conversation with the Jews. All right, grace and peace, some did. Now, another thing is they said they're not even sure with the ties with that gentleman, with that young man, but this could be because in religion, we're going to have extremists. And y'all have to remember, when the powers that be will manipulate a thing, we got MK Ultra, mind control, we got all type of strange things. A lot of times they said one brother had a jail record. We don't know if he went there and it was some mind control. We don't know if he went to the penitentiary, had some dental work. A lot of them say when you start talking about blue beaming, hearing the voice of God, the government have been known to manipulate and do things. I'm not putting it on the government, but I want y'all to know that we do have something that's called false flag operations. A false flag operation it comes from back in the days. I know I'm going somewhere, but I'm gonna wrap it all up. It comes from back in the days. The pirates used to go and fly a flag, and they'll see somebody come and look like they were out hunting. They might have gold on that ship, so I'll fly a flag that say Britain or Germany, and then y'all will think, oh, those are people over there. And then when we get closer, we pulling out the muskets, we jumping on the boat, killing y'all, and we taking over the boat, and we're gonna ride out, and then we'll leave that flag. Sometimes we'll leave it for people to see. But a false flag operation is an operation that a government will do, that a people will do, and blame it on another people. And they do that for a reason. Google the USS Liberty. They do these things for a reason. A lot of people, if you look at Alex Jones and David Icke and so many other people, there's a bunch of engineers, there's a bunch of people that's out here saying that 9/11 was a false flag operation. How the terrorists blew up, y'all ain't got no parts of the plane, but you got his passport and his Quran without a burn on it. On the ground from way up in the air, his passport is right down here for the FBI to find? Oh, I don't know. The way Building 7 fell, some people say it was already wired. And they had all of this laid out immediately. Y'all know it's them folk over there. Then y'all going and controlling they dope, they poppy fields, and controlling the fuel prices. And the prices on the gas went up all over the planet. I don't know. They look like they already had an agenda. Y'all know what they said. They turned around and told y'all there's weapons of mass destruction over there. Bush and them joked about it later on. It wasn't there. But they tell y'all anything. And they'll do things to get people to hate another people. These are what we call false flag operations. Now, I'm not saying it's that. I'm not saying it's that at all. But when we start looking at it, we got to make sure when we're observing a thing, we have to look at it. And on a whole, when we're talking about on a whole, when we're talking about Black Hebrew Israelites, to be honest, they ain't been doing nothing but running their mouth. So I can't put them on the level because Christian Zionists and Christian Zionists, these church folk want y'all to have the black Hebrew Israelites on the same level as the skinheads, as the KKK that done blew up churches, that been known for lynching and killing and all. They want to put them on the same level. Oh, it's going to be plenty, and it's going to be black Christians that are going to do it too. And I'm not speaking, I don't care about none of them camps, but I'm just telling y'all, we got to be careful out here. We got to be careful out here because the bad people pull me over. They going to run my name. Once they run your name, they say we can go by his past. The past is a good indicator on how this person going to act in the future. That's what they say. So now, in all actuality, ain't no some of these good Christian organizations, ain't nobody really tore down the Klan. Where's all the Klan men? Where's all the Klan, like KRS once said, where's all the Klan uniforms? How come ain't more Klan men in jail for all of the churches, for all of the bombings, for all of the lynching, for all of the killing? They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna show us that. Because those were good Christians and were people that were behind them. But now we got a bunch of guys on the corner, and I don't like the way they talk. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like the way they talk, and I know they playing themselves. They zealous for whatever reason, but they playing themselves because when this thing come down to a race war, they know we don't got enough hammers. When they get to killing and doing what they want in these streets, they can say, listen, them folk right there, y'all already see them. That's one of the main reasons I was pushing. Y'all better, but listen, y'all got to separate. If y'all are fair in your heart, don't lump all the Israelites together. Because when they start saying stuff, they're going to get to tapping everybody YouTube, everybody telephone, because some of y'all in here are identifying with them folk, and the feds don't know no different. And the church ain't going to help y'all out. European Jewry ain't going to help y'all out because y'all running around here talking about y'all the Jews. So that means if y'all the Jews, them folk ain't the Jews. That's a problem in and of itself. We got to be careful the feds are watching. I'm a Cushite. Listen, Mr. FBI, ATF, I'm a Cushite. Let me straighten that out right now. But I'm saying this for a reason. I'm saying this for a reason. Let me see if I can pull up some of this stuff. Let me make sure nobody hitting me right now. Let me make sure nobody is hitting me. I'm going to read some of these things. Some of those camps study Torah and Talmudic teaching. Yes, they do. Some of them. I'm not going to lie. Camps are heavy into Masonic, occultic, all type of strange doctrines. But I can't say European Jewry weren't involved in that either. Kabbalah, magic, Enochian, a lot of stuff European Jews been involved too. And it ain't just the writings of Moses and loving the Lord. They in some other stuff. There's some folk out here, they dealing with witchcraft, they dealing with portals and calling on spirits and manipulating other individuals through those means. And this is what people do. Then you have other people that'll sit back and say, how can I benefit from this situation? Let me see if I can pull up some of this stuff. Because when it comes down to it, a lot of people started saying some strange stuff. Let me see if I can share the screen right here, just to show y'all some of what's going on out here. Some of what's going on out here. Let me see on the phone. I can see if y'all can see the stuff right here. Because now they're gonna start blaming people. They're gonna start saying A, B, C, and D. I don't care if it was a small connection. I don't care the guy got kicked out of the camp, but we just gotta be careful because they'll try to line all of this stuff up together. Y'all see what's going on right here. Jersey City Jewish deli shot up by black Hebrew Israelites. That's something interesting now. Did they plan on going there? They had a pipe bomb. Did they plan on going there? They had a pipe bomb, some type of incendiary device. That's what they're saying was in there, no matter what a cop is dead. So these folk are y'all wanted attention now. Some of them folk wanted attention, them camps wanted attention. They finna get this attention that they looking for. Now, JDL going to push them. Now, y'all got to be careful because when we're dealing with Zionism and Jewish Defense League and all these other organizations, they got money. And if you think those people don't need to exist, they're going to have a problem with you. Y'all on the corner talking about them and synagogue of Satan and mixing up scripture because y'all are mixing up scripture and pointing to them folk right there. Y'all want attention. Y'all finna get all the attention y'all want. Is it fair attention? That's a whole nother thing that they're going to classify y'all with the Klan. They're going to try to limit your freedom of speech. They're going to try to get out here. They're going to try to get at y'all. Y'all better make sure everything is right because they're going to start giving y'all a problem. Look at these things. Now, there's some other groups going to come out and try to say it's not them, or other people going to try to say this is part of persecution that's coming on us for telling the truth. Y'all better see beyond all of that stuff. Y'all better see behind all of that stuff. Let me see if I can switch the screen up here. I'm going to see if this screen switches up if I click this thing over. If I do, I got a couple of things to show y'all. Let me see. I'm looking down at the phone. I know y'all a couple of seconds behind y'all. I'm gonna start somebody laughing at me. No, I'm serious. I'm not playing with that. But for those that, what's gonna happen to those that have nothing to do with this at all? False flag operation. What about those that have nothing to do with this at all? What is that gonna do with the relation between us? European Jewry. Some people say, oh, forget the Jews and this and that. You can say what you want. Like I said, Jews put in work. Barry checking them, you can say what you want. They done got brothers out the penitentiary. They done got brothers off of this time. A lot of brothers I know, they done got off. My man went up there, got 44. He got about 40 something years. He went up there, he came back down. He had a Jew, gave them devils that time back. And he had a Jewish lawyer, Jewish girl rocking with him hard. He couldn't afford her rocking with him hard. And she just like, listen, and it feels good in her heart to do that. Why? She said, well, this is what her personally, she personally feel that, she been through oppression. She been through hatred. She been through certain things. And she know that her people's been through it. And she don't want that to be put on anybody else. So she's moving like a decent human being. So she's going to help another. She's a professional. She believed in him. Of course, everybody in jail say they're innocent. But she believed in him. Turn around and the cop was shaking. They gave that time back. He be home. He on the block right now. And who helped? A European Jew. So we got to be careful. We'll get out here and get to reading these books and get to listening to these videos about the slave trade and Jews and this and that, and get to hating some folk. And are we really looking at the whole picture? I don't want nobody to classify all of us together. Oh, that's a black man over there. I know that's a black. I see them guys over there with their pants. They got do-rags. Oh, yeah, I know they all can. And cops, even when cops are pulling us over, I don't want to be stereotyped. I don't want anybody else doing it. So we got to be thinking when we're looking at some stuff. False flag operation. I just want to talk about this false flag thing because it is a lot of that stuff going around. But are these, how should we look at this whole situation? That's a fair question. That's my question to y'all right now. How should we look at this whole situation? A false flag operation is just like I said, it started with the pirates, but different governments been doing it to bring people into war. They said Japanese bombed the train. Japanese turned around and bombed the train when they were going to war, when they wanted to get it on with China. That's an easier way to bring people in. 9/11, people were extremely upset. So then we said, we know who the terrorists are. We get ready to go get them. Of course, 90% of the country was down with go get them. Only a few people was like, wait a minute, how y'all know who it is already? Wait a minute, where the remains of this plane? Wait a minute, let's figure some of this stuff out. But everybody was like, go get them, we gonna kill them. Next thing you know, the gas prices up. We got troops over there dying. They don't want to put the dead troops coming back. They don't want to show their caskets. They don't want to let the morale down. They over there, and war is money. Dick Cheney and them, all of them, they down with Halliburton, all these private security companies, everybody getting money. War is money. So we can't deny that. Did we go to war for the right reason? Did we go to war with the real people? They say Saudi Arabia, but we're not messing with them because the Bush family down with them. Nope, I don't want to sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist type person, but we gotta be wise in this thing. These aren't regular devils out here. They moving on a different level. They'll have you thinking one thing and it's magic. Like they say, the magic came to Christ. It's magic. It's sleight of hand. They show you one thing, and you looking over here, the next thing you know, they pulling out a rabbit. And you're like, where'd that come from? Then it's an egg over here. Then they flipping that thing. Then they giving you Easter, and you clapping, and y'all painting eggs in Sunday school. Y'all see how I threw that in? I said I wasn't going to do. Y'all see how I threw that in? But it's sleight of hand. It's one thing, and you think you in the worship, and you think you in one thing, and they giving you a whole nother thing. And they giving you a whole nother thing. Let me see. I think somebody said third women. Marshall, let me see. Marshall, work with European Jews, of course. European Jews been rocking with us for a minute. And then you got people all throughout Europe. You got people, crazy people out here saying all type of stuff when we got primary sources. Oh, the Holocaust never existed. I'm hearing retarded stuff out here. And it's not just black folk. You got white retarded folk out here. Don't know what things I'm talking about. Talking about that whole thing over there with Hitler and them, that never happened. That nobody was never put in jail. Nobody never died. There's no proof of that. What they been reading? But hatred will have you. That's how I'm gonna say racism has no place in scholarship. That stuff will have you. That stuff will have you somewhere you ain't got no business being. That stuff will have you somewhere else, and you'll be thinking you're doing something and thinking you're reading something. Remember, just because it's in a book don't mean it's real. Let me try to read some of these comments right here. All right. Thurgood Marshall worked with the Jews, yes. You're on the works of the enemy, period. Enemy, yes, shalom, shalom, family. Just got home, heard the news today. All right, all right. All right, let me see. I want to make sure there are any questions anybody have. So this thing, it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. Done by agents. That's another thing too. Somebody said conspiracy. I like the way you put that out. We got to look at certain things. We got to look at certain things, and we got to know that we're not playing ourselves in certain things that we're doing. Now, to be honest, because people are different, because people view things differently, just posted that in our group. Yes, I saw it. I was already hitting the live button trying to look on my thing, Baker, but I saw that. Grace and peace. But so there's a lot going on with this. What are we going to do with all of that stuff? What are we going to do with these false flag operations? What are we going to do with this other nonsense? So automatically, it's going to be people that's going to want to distance themselves. I don't know. Y'all online, y'all talking about DNA and all of that stuff. The feds are coming. This is one reason people want to back away. This is another reason. I feel it's bad, but this is another reason why I'm so adamant about people involved in apologetics and Christians just trying to lump all of y'all together. Everybody together, everybody that believes this is what it is. That's going to automatically put the Jews on high alert, put the feds on high alert. The church already think y'all ain't thinking clearly at all. A large portion of the church ain't thinking y'all think clearly or thinking clearly at all. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna ride with Israel. They're gonna ride with what they understand prophecy to be and say y'all are just plainly confused. And when that stuff comes in, Perry, this is what scares me, because now we can't build. Now we can't have a conversation because there's certain words. Like them people, certain people, they build themselves anti-Semitic. So they've insulated themselves. So a lot of people, even in the church and stuff, people insulate themselves against the word Israel. You dark and you hear the word Israel automatically. That conversation ain't right. Christians are going to be automatically turned off, and they're going to know to speak against you in a certain way. Not to say, well, what do you mean believe? When you say Israel, the word Israel is in the Bible, they're going to insulate themselves, and all of y'all are the bad people. I don't care if y'all believe virgin birth. I don't care the son is eternal. I don't care what y'all believe. Y'all identified with them Power Rangers over there. And that ain't no disrespect. That's what we call them. And that's how people are going to do. They're going to automatically lump every single person together, and y'all are troublemakers. So to make Mas and them feel good, we're going to have to back up, and we're going to have to praise the other people and condemn y'all and shoot y'all down to let them know we are among the good guys, so the feds won't get over here and be mad at me and watch my channel. So now I got to bunch all of y'all together and condemn y'all folk. Because I don't want the church folk to be mad at me. I don't want the feds to be looking at me. So now every one of y'all are devils over there. Not even getting the whole story. This is how we do. Not even getting the whole story, but we got to run, and we got to listen. We're going to take sides, and we quick to take sides. Not knowing that the media, there's manipulation over there, and there's a lot of stuff going on. I got to play that other video for y'all. That other girl said, get out the neighborhood. Is there an unfair... do you think there are a good bit of blacks in America that feel a certain way because of the secret relation between the blacks and the Jews? That book that the Nation of Islam was propagating back in the days. A lot of people respreading it now. A lot of people in the conscious community talking about it. Do you think because we got more people in the conscious community that talk about Jews and slavery, like other people weren't involved in slavery, and they don't give the good side of Judaism, like there were Jews that, like I said, Barry Shekin and there's Jews that help brothers, that's helping brothers come home right now. A lot of Jews involved in law. A lot of Jews, y'all can say what y'all want. I know a lot of my cats be getting hit up. They go to that hospital. They be like, boy, one for that doctor. Them doctors and them, they listen. I can't lie. I just woke up 3 days later. My man got 9 holes in him. Doctors are busting that, cut him open and all of that. There was Jews in there. He feels a certain way. That doctor was a Jew. You can say what you want. That girl, that head nurse, that head RN inside of what you call emergency, there was Jews in there. I ain't saying it was all Jews. There's some black nurses in there too and all of that. But we got to look at certain things. And they have to save lives. They don't care about color and all of this other stuff. So when people say certain things, do you think, again, false information and us putting out half of the story, that's not gonna hate it? If it's Christian, if it's Muslim, if it's on Freemasonry or this Hebrew movement, if y'all putting out half of the story, you're being a tool of the devil. Plain and simple. Anybody that's telling half of the story about Jews and slavery, not saying Jews was down with Thurgood Marshall, with Martin Luther King, with NAACP, with Innocent Project, helping y'all with DNA, if y'all not bringing out the other side, we got to always show both sides of the coin. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here sharing this right now. That's Elder Jeff. That's why I'm sharing this right now. That's very, very important. All right, let me try to see if I can read some of these comments in here. I'm gonna put that link down in there. Y'all put $1 in that thing. I think the other day, we appreciate y'all. I think the other day somebody y'all did us $4. We was online for 3 hours, $4. We're not looking at it like that, but we're saying we giving out some information. We trying to help y'all. We asking y'all to look out, show some love. Alton, what Alton said, the Hebrew Israelites. I want to see what Alton say specifically. They like your comments. Now watch, I read what Alton say. Watch some of my team, watch my people hit me, want to jump on here. Hebrew Israelites need to start being clear on what they believe. They need to start speaking up and dividing themselves from the radical ones. Y'all heard what Alton say. He is in the community. He out here, he's making video. He's considered an urban apologist. I don't know if you want to say urban, because some of y'all getting offended with that word now. They done scared y'all up into that word. But y'all, you heard what he said is beautiful truth? Where Super Chat, where my man at? Where progress at? Y'all heard what Alton said? I'm gonna read it again. Desmond, you agree with Alton? Y'all about the same age and y'all do the same work. Alton said Hebrew Israelites need to start being clear on what they believe. I don't know if I can hate on Alton for that. They need to start speaking and dividing themselves from the radical ones. Desmond, can you say amen to that? And I'm not just saying, Charles, can you say amen to that? It's beautiful truth. Let me see. What's it? Alton, Israelites need to do the camps like what Christians do with Jehovah's Witness, Mormons, etc. Lady D said. We do separate ourselves. We ain't do too good with Creflo Dollar and all of them. That's how a lot of people think we all out here preaching name it and claim it and a bunch of that TBN nonsense. Do you agree with what Alton said, Elder Fingers? Do you agree with what he said? Okay, Desmond, all right, now y'all see what's going on. Desmond said, I agree. I think some groups will be purged by God. Okay, but do you side with the groups? It's beautiful truth. If you hear somebody that's speaking radical from one of them groups, I don't even want to say no names, from any one of them alphabet boy groups over there that's part of them camps, do you say, well, I don't know, those are my brothers over there? Because we can't be mad at them white Christians oh, well, I'm not going to really speak against the Klan. They're out there doing what they do. No, the Klan out there terrorizing black folk. And some of you white folk were just sitting up and like it was all good. And y'all was, oh, they Christians over there. They just view things a little differently, but they're here to protect our women. Because y'all bought into the hype that black men wanted to be running around here raping white women. When we was married, y'all do know we would get married all through slavery and all of that stuff. Coming all out of slavery, we was getting married. Y'all do know that, right? Well, these folk on TV had y'all thinking something else. All right, let me read. Alton said, amen. All right, let me see. I want to see somebody. I think some of them are clear, like Sister E and Boom Church. They're not, yes, absolutely so. But people would get offended, that's Sister Carolyn, people would get offended that I would try to bring out certain things like, no, there are certain people. Matter of fact, there's a bunch of them that don't believe that stuff. But then people say, well, who are you apologists for, us or them? It's just a matter of speaking truth. It's just a matter of speaking truth. But to be honest, because of YouTube, because you don't see Sister E on the corner, Major them hollering on the corner every single Saturday for the last 10, 12, 15 years. But you got some of them cats out there for them camps every single Saturday, and there's more and more groups in different places hollering, all on Capitol. They don't got no shame where they going. On Parks, New York City. You in New York City, that's the middle of the world. People coming here from all over Europe, all over Africa. They coming and walking down 42nd Street, 44th Broadway. They going to shows and they hearing these guys on the corner. They all in Hollywood. They're in big, but they're all in Washington, D.C. They're right down the block from the Capitol, hollering on the corner. You white folk is finna, God is gonna judge you. They ain't say they gonna kill you, but these white folk taking it in. People's taking it in. People's hearing them. Y'all seen how they ran with the whole Covenanton thing. Now, some people would say, well, the media didn't really get into it, but certain media outlets, they did do it. Certain media outlets got into it. What are we going to do with that? These are things that we got to look at. What Alton saying, Yolanda, yeah, but they need a statement of faith across. I agree with that. Dr. E came in here and said that they need a statement of faith across the board. That's very, very good. That's very good. Yeah, nobody got a problem with that. Sister E been clear. Oh, yeah, Sister E been clear. Sister, extremely clear. That's how I don't got no problem with Sister E. Major and a whole bunch of them. A lot of them are clear on what they believe, but they don't have the platform or the level a lot of them generals and captains and all them great high bishops and all of them folk over there got. And the amount of men that's out here dropping videos and saying different things. So because the camps got so much control of YouTube, this is where the problem is coming in for them now. This is where the problem's coming in. And like I said, the church ain't gonna try to help them clear up nothing. The church is not there to help them, so they in the struggle for themselves. Listen, this is what we believe, A, B, C. Do they need more unity with that? Do they need to come together? When the church were having problems like this, that's where the church got together and the church came out with creeds. They already believed it. The creeds weren't made up to promote the doctrine. When you're saying what you're saying out, and you're saying they just need a creed, they need to come out, we believe in the Son, the Father, so we believe in the Son is eternal. They need to come out with creeds to state what they already believe. Statements of belief. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people say, well, the movement is new. They're just mingling with each other. They need to do whatever. There's some stuff going on. Grace and peace, Garfield. There's a lot going on here. And we got to be careful with that. We got to be careful with that. And a lot of folk watching and a lot of folk talking now, are they doing damage to us as a whole? Minorities in this country. Melanated people in this country, are they doing damage to us as a whole? Because they already running around here feeling a lot of you black folk angry. Somebody like how the guy Bob, was Bob up in here? Bob see my whole girl yesterday and she was talking. He wilds out. He wilds out. And there are people, the black people, definitely white people, would be like, she sounds angry, talking about Sister E. Like y'all, a lot of people, especially Europeans, they hear some of us talking, like y'all sound like black people are just so angry. Y'all weren't born in slavery. Why y'all so angry? You hear that? We're progress right there. Y'all hear that? Why progress? You angry? That's what they're gonna say. Good Christian folk will say you angry. Can you be angry? Can you have a righteous anger? Or y'all folk ain't got up, y'all folk ain't picked no cotton. Y'all got up, y'all went to the job, y'all got a 401, and y'all folks still running around here complaining because the cop shot the guy up in his back 4, 5, 6 times. All right, he died. No big thing. But that's the problem. A lot of folks talking about no big thing. What are you talking about? And people get upset. They say, are we playing ourselves? Because they already say a cop kill a drug dealer, we'll all get out there marching. But a drug dealer kill another drug dealer, we all sign it. 13 killings one weekend in Chicago. Ain't nobody, church ain't saying nothing. We just touch your neighbor. We on the same stuff. We need to be outraged all over the country. But they saying, listen, that's part of that false flag thing too. Those are white cops wearing black masks, running around, driving around, shooting up Chicago. The cops drop guns off. Listen, if our minds were better, we can have 500 million guns per house. We ain't gonna be running around here killing nobody over no sneakers, over no big booty girl, baby mama drama, hitting them hammers. We won't be doing some of the stuff that we're doing. Are we playing ourselves? They're trying to connect us with all criminality and we all like that and we'll all stand up for whatever. But as soon as we find out something about a crooked cop, how much time they gave that cop? 22 months? He done raped 16 girls. Well, not rape or forced them to do whatever in uniform. We gotta, let me read some of these comments. We got a lot going on. We got a lot going on. Pastor Majors, I think it's clear. Very, of course he clear. That, you see, I'll say his name, he clear. I ride. There's some people I'm gonna ride with. Alta said no one really knows what they're all about because both sides are bringing Bible to the. Yeah. But out of the abundance of the heart, we hear a lot of things that they're saying on the corner. I don't got to be the sharpest knife in the drawer. Without a creed, Alton, I can listen to 3, 4 sermons. I can listen to 2, 3 videos with that Sister E talk and go to our channel, listen to Pastor Majors and a few. I can listen to Stephen Darby. There's some videos I can pull up, 3, 4 videos. I can tell there's a difference between Stephen Darby, Omar, Pastor Johnson, and there's a difference between that general right there. I only need 2, 3 videos, and I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, and I can tell that. But I think sometimes some church folk don't want to see certain things because why would I do that? And my numbers ain't what they used to be. I'm sure not gonna help nobody go over there to major in them, curse major in them. But if I don't want to curse them, I'm gonna do some other stuff. I'm gonna connect him with the general in them. I'm gonna connect him with the captains in them that's on the corner hollering and acting crazy and cussing with the Bible. You mother, and they cussing with the Bible open. That other guy was on the train cussing the white Jew with the Bible open because and the Muslim was defending the Jew. We're the only ones looking crazy. When a Muslim defending a Jew and we hollering crazy, the enders come in and y'all gonna do this, and you ain't a no punk ass Christian and all this crazy stuff. Berean said it. Berean said it. Go back and watch the video. They wilding out. But I'll blend Sister E and all of them together. Let them all rock out together. Let that come out in the wash. It'll come out some years after I died and I done retired, as long as my numbers ain't going nowhere. As long as they ain't challenging my time. The hell major out here challenging the tithe. Talking about the tithe was food. I got beef with that if I've been living off of the tithe. That I shouldn't have said. That I shouldn't have said. But there's a lot of people that feel a certain way. It ain't just because of the race thing. We feel a certain way. There's churches everywhere, and we all fighting among a few people. That's why I asked Major. Now I'm gonna do some ignorant stuff. Major came on here one time, and I said, "Are you stealing sheep?" I'm gonna keep it 100. Y'all should have seen, and I be reading people's face. You should have seen the disgust on his face. Now I knew he was gonna answer like a good Christian Israelite would, like a good believer would. But I know his face was like, "What is this fool talking about?" Like, this is what a lot of people feel. Let me read some of this. I really didn't start learning the Bible until I heard some of the racist Hebrew Israelites preaching in the park in Baltimore. But now I listen to Vody Beckham, John MacArthur, Tony Evans. Then what do we do with stuff like that? Oh, that's the Asian brother. I like Gene too. That Asian guy. I like him too. Now, what do we do with that? Other people said, I didn't start getting back into the Bible. And I've heard that before. I wasn't getting into the Bible until I started listening to them guys on the corner saying certain things, saying they lied about the Bible. And they started paying attention and reading the Bible. That's a problem. Because we already know in the church, God can't use the devil. Can God use the devil? God can't use the camps. That's impossible. And we ain't gonna go too far right here, but we know God ain't finna try to do. How far? I can't believe it. Other people would say, well, I don't know, I'm gonna leave that part alone right there because they're gonna go running and then my phone gonna get to ringing and I already got beef because I'm already on the border. I'm on the border. Somebody blocking my commentary and know darn well that I'm not offline, Berean. Somebody block, come to Progress Report. I can see what you posted right there. I'm watching you, Days of Noah. Vody is the truth. Yes, and that's another thing. People don't even know. People that are considered Israel listen to some Vody, listen to some John MacArthur. I think the church is confused. I think the church people confused on the next level because they don't know it's so much mixing. It's so much, because why is that? People are trying to figure things out, Alex, and they're trying to feel themselves out and they're trying to learn as they grow. That's how come people, they say Berean loose with it. So people are telling me, yo, I'm looking into my DNA, and they brought up something in the church, but they don't want to begin. They would not dare. They would not dare tell they pastor. We still respect the pastor in the Black community. Y'all, some of y'all ain't gonna deal like how my ignorant man and that elder come up in here talking about that DNA. Bunch of church folk ain't finna go up in church and start talking about their DNA and they looking into something and they just thinking about this. They not gonna do it. No, they're not going to do it. They know that they won't play themselves because they know the backlash that they'll get because they know church folk will flip on our own. If it's the same thing with gang life, if you running with that gang, but act like you're like, y'all seen The Wire. It was like, yo, why we got to kill him? Why we got to kill him? You can't start thinking for yourself. Why we doing this? What did he do for us to run down on him to hit him up? So, yo, you just stop asking so many questions. Y'all seen The Wire. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me read what they say right here. Wait a minute, this you out to talking about God can use the camps to bring people to the Bible, but he won't keep them in the false teachings. All right. Anybody got beef with that? Y'all can speak on that. What Isaiah said, how about straightway ministries with Charles Dowell, dudes out here crying weapons like the Jim Jones and the David Koresh Compton? Yeah. Straightway got hammers. Yeah, straightway, they already know he got hammers. Yeah, he's showing his hammers. He got hammers. Now, and he's been in the military and all that. That's a whole different thing. So many different people. We got everybody from straightway to the general and these cats down here. Some people automatically get scared when you start getting land, talking about do for self. And everybody will be scared when you start seeing black folk with guns. The Panthers wasn't running around here killing cops and all of that stuff, but folk, they felt a certain way. Because even if we look at the gun laws in this country, they never wanted the oppressed people to have hammers. Even when we deal with the immigration laws, the laws from the 1780s, 1790s, they wanted certain white folk to come over here. They argued about gun laws, who should have a gun, who should be a citizen. A lot of things. And boy, one thing they ain't liking is no guns. They don't mind with some guns if we're gonna be running around here killing each other. But if y'all start having organization, that's a danger to anybody. So I would ride with J. Edgar Hoover and some of them cult leaders and be like, yo, we got to keep an eye on these folk. They got hammers and they talking in the right mind, and they ain't running up in all these liquor stores on every corner. Now they talking in their right mind. We gotta be careful. We gotta be careful. But how far do we go with that? Let me read a couple of these. Yeah, and then there's a few people, and that's kind of the confusion, because there's a lot of people that's on the internet, and so many people are teaching so many different things. Even when you're dealing with Israel, grace and peace, Sister Smith. Even when you're dealing with Israel, you got everybody from a dowel to a major, and Sister E and M, all the way to the captain over there, and the bishop, and all these other folk. That's a lot of different people with a lot of different teachings. Some people say it can't be truth because it's all the devil. But wait a minute, got to pump my brakes, We got Mormons, we got Jehovah's Witnesses, we got Catholics, we got Protestants, we got all type of folk. We got a bunch of stuff too. Now, of course, it took us 2,000 years to have so many denominations. And some people argue these folk just been jumping for a good 100 years down here, and they got 500 organizations. They still doing worse than us. But I don't look at it like me personally. I don't look at it like that. What are we going to do with some of this? Let me read some stuff. The devil has blinded their minds because they believe in the Son, and therefore they have not the Father, giving them the truth. Somebody's blocking me. All right, I read that. Let me go down. 3 certain words have your comments deleted. Yes, something with the algorithms and all of that stuff. Yeah, and you know you are progress. Don't act like you don't be. I go back sometime and I be reading your comments and you be like, oh, you a little loose with it. You got to be honest. You got maybe if you retype it in a different way, it'll come up. All right, let me see. How about, all right, that was straight way. All right, I think we got to that right there. When the realities rejected Christ, he gave up on them and let them believe a lie. I believe that the Thessalonians, God allowed people to believe a lie, and them having the truth. And he sent a strong delusion. Yes, I agree with that. Better let the Holy Spirit teach and lead you and test the spirit. We have to just Yolanda, if you ain't said nothing, you done said something today. We got to make sure we being led by the Spirit of God. We got to walk in love. Now, at the same time, we can't let people play us if we want to share a historical truth and people want to keep us away from or scare us out of speaking a historical truth. Progress said he didn't say nothing controversial. We don't want people to scare us from speaking a historical truth. If we have to speak on matters of race, it's not the end of the world. People will get upset, but we have to speak on certain things, and that's okay. But at the same time, a lot of people are upset just dealing with this whole race thing. Like the other gentleman said yesterday, when we're dealing with spirituality and God and religion, race shouldn't be in this. It shouldn't be, but people brought it in. So now people are trying to work things out in their own mind. What was that thing that Mike Kaiser had in his book? Don't Dare Bore Me with the Bible. I was reading that yesterday, 2 days ago, and he was talking about, it wasn't the Pew. There's a different, like Gallup poll and Pew, there's a bunch of different research centers, and they were saying that the majority of young people, even in this whole country, under 40, don't know Bible at all. And if you don't know book at all, what are you going to do? So there's people that's trying to come back to a knowledge of the Bible. And what are they going to do if the first person they listen to at camps on the corner? Because the church, we're not really out there like that evangelizing. Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons, to some people, look like they putting in more work. Shout out to everybody that's doing that apostolic work, those church planners, them people that's going into the shelters. Shout out to the Sunday school teachers. We all got to do this thing together to get the truth out there, because you can say what we want. All of us believe this writ to guide us in some way. Everybody from Rob Moses to Progress to Sister Yolanda to me to Pastor Mick, everybody in here, is 80 of us in here now, 80, 90, almost 100 of us, and we all believe in some way that this writ is leading us. We got to be careful how we're sharing this. We got to be careful how we're presenting it and certain things that we're doing. I think Rich said, don't let your good be evil spoken of. A lot of people say they mean good and they want to do good, and they out here and everything is white people, white people, white people, white people, white people. Would Jesus do that? That's fair. I think that's fair. That's fair to ask. Jesus ain't gonna say, forget about my color. Everything is gonna be all right. Not when we've been in the situation that we've been in. That's what get people mad. Some people say Jesus will fix it. He'll make it all right. There's certain things. I don't think God is a robot. I don't think God is fixing everything. We're down here to some certain things. We're in a land where we can vote, where we can discuss certain things or vote, or is election manipulated in a way? Of course, of course, of course. But we could get out here and we can attempt to make a change with our writ, with what we have to say with the writ, with our phones. We have computers, through tweeting. Countries have changed. Multiple countries terrorizing people. Why you think a lot of them communists, a lot of them countries over there, they want to shut down the internet. They don't want pictures to get out. They don't want to get tweets to get out because we can change things. But at the same time, we want to say we got a message out here. We want to do some type of awakening. We want to make sure we don't want to mess up the gospel of Christ, what we believe the gospel is according to that Bible historically. We don't want to do that. And at the same time, we don't want to be promoting no terrorism like we out here to do A, B, C, and D. You can say what you want. We've been nice people. Them folk been terrorizing us, been bombing, killing. Folk done killed up that white boy done went up in there, killed up the whole church. Killed up everybody in the church, family outside praying. I see them cats polite them, they on side, they're laughing. They laughing, folk outside, folk ain't even came out in body bags yet. Believers gonna pray. Am I saying they stupid? Absolutely not. Because you're supposed to forgive. Forgiveness is important. Forgiveness is very important. I understand that, but at the same time, let folk know, listen, it's a new day. We're not playing. We're not playing no games. But how do we teach? How do we put this information out there? How do we galvanize as a people? I'm talking about our rights to be. How do we galvanize? I think that's fear, Yolanda. Some people say, well, that's wrong. You ain't supposed to be galvanizing nobody. The spirit is, shut up. I don't want to hear that right now. How do we galvanize as a people to shut down certain things? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Folk don't like people discussing stuff like, all right, y'all talking about getting together now. We don't want to start wanting all y'all to get together and start having unity. Unity is a bad thing. A lot of people don't like unity. Let me see who's hitting me. A lot of people don't like unity. All right, somebody said, you talking about Jesus? Somebody said he forsook his heritage. All right, let me go back and read. Who is Satan? Oh no, who started that right there? Who is Satan? Wait a minute. Do y'all believe? I believe the enemy can use anybody, according to Ephesians, and stuff like that. But are we doing damage to ourselves when we start preaching? How many people in here preach? Type 1 or 2. How many of y'all believe that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of? I hear the camp say that a lot. I hear, of course, Christians don't believe that. Alton, I know you don't believe that. Des, I know you don't believe that. I know a bunch of y'all don't believe that. How many of y'all believe that the devil is a physical, ethnic group of people, physical, looking like blue-eyed or something like that, blonde hair? How many of y'all in here believe that the devil is the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks about? How many of y'all, Progress, you believe that? All right, somebody said IUIC. Somebody else said, all right, Hebrew, all right, let me see. All right, now, Smith, all right, now. Smith said the devil is now, if the writ says God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship even days on earth, riding with that. No, I don't go for that. But wait a minute, there's a few people that do. There's a few people that do. Esau now, okay, now, all right, you got scripture on that one? Somebody said Esau is the devil. Did y'all connect Esau with the devil? That's fair. That's a fair question. We got to look into this right now. We got to look into this. That's a fair question. But we don't, the majority of us, I don't know if the majority of us believes that. Do we believe the writ teach that? Especially when people go to verses like Ezekiel and he said, is this not a man? They don't understand that to be a devil. They don't understand how that scriptures work, and he's speaking to the spirit behind him. Like, was Peter the devil? When Jesus started talking about what he had to go through, Peter said, no, not so, Lord. And he said, get thee behind me, Satan. What do they call that? Jesus was looking at Peter, but he was talking to Satan. You Pentecostals know about that. Y'all may not know the theological term or what the scholars call that, but can you look at a person and speak to the spirit behind that person or what's influencing that person? That's what we believe. So even when you're looking at Ezekiel and you see certain things in Ezekiel, we understand that it's what's going on in the spiritual realm and what's going on in the natural realm. We believe there's a principality. We believe there's a spirit that'll lead certain kings. There's a spirit that led or drove Nebuchadnezzar. There's a spirit that's behind Trump. I'm not good or bad. We're not going to even get into that. Principalities or spirits behind nations and individuals. Jeffrey Dahmer, we believe that a spirit was behind him, causing him to do certain things. So people are saying that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks about. Was Peter a devil when Christ said, "Oh, Satan, get thee behind me," and he was talking to Peter, who I believe he loved, if you read the rest of the book. If you believe the rest of the book, help me out, Brown. If you believe the rest of the book, God didn't say he hated Esau. Jacob, if I love it, Esau, if I hate it, somebody gonna put that's Romans, somebody gonna put that in there. No, but you do have to share a lot of his ways. Christ says that the devil, man, race would cast us into prison. Brew, give me that, what you call it right there. Give me that, you talking about out of Revelation? Black people are so confused. Royal Flush saying black people are so confused. We want to own that we were the fathers of humanity, and so we want to own that we the fathers of humanity and civilization, but we don't want to own that we're the first people to commit wickedness. Oh man, you gonna got folk upset with that one. Yeah, we started slavery. We started slavery. If y'all want to ride with that, y'all have to ride with we started slavery. There's certain things that we did. Esau was and is a Pastor Major done took y'all somewhere there. See that? Y'all see what he just said? I'm gonna read what Pastor said. Pastor's Boom Church. Everybody, y'all want to get the comment to him? Y'all get the comment to him. He said, Esau was and is a black man who infused himself with several nations. Alton said Jeffrey Dahmer got saved before he died. Yeah, they said that. A lot of people got saved before that guy hit him in the head in the gym. People were still upset with him. People ain't want to let his past go. A lot of people say all of that stuff. Like they said, oh, Constantine got saved in the end. They all want to get saved after they did all the killing and murdering, but God knows the heart. God definitely knows the heart. I don't know what he was struggling with. We don't know how the enemy will take somebody to a certain place. Somebody else said, if we're gods, who's the devil? Oh, Brew, you talking about Psalms 82? Oh, that's a whole nother thing right there. Race mixing is a sin? Super Jam said, wait, oh, y'all got me going right now. Somebody said race mixing is a sin. Is race even a real thing? I totally agree, Brother Berean. No, Jesus was speaking against Satan, who was attempting to stop his assignment. Absolutely. And that's how we look at the situation. You can speak and address a spirit that's behind the thing. Well, we're charismatic. We believe that, but we believe that that's what Christ was doing. We don't believe how it's impossible for Peter to be Satan when he mightily used him later on. I'm going to bring out another thing about casting lots and all of that stuff, because before the Spirit was poured out, the last time we see them casting lots, they didn't know what to do. Judas killed himself. They wanted somebody to be counted from among them that rocked out with them, and they picked Matthias. That wasn't the man. We believe God had Paul in the cut, but they end up picking him, and they cast lots, and they picked him, and they just didn't know what to do. And then a little bit after that, the Spirit was poured out, and we don't see them casting lots anymore else in the New Testament. What Rev C said, race mixing is not a sin. No, race mixing is not a sin. If you look at, there's one race, we believe from one blood. Race mixing is not a sin in that sense. But Rev C, the problem that a lot of people have, people would say that, he said, when you go into the land, as far as the Canaanites and those other people, and that's what the KKK, Aryan Nation, Phineas priesthood, a Nation of Islam, so many other people, they use certain scriptures, and they all use the same scriptures. And then they would give you natural things like birds and eagles and pigeons don't have babies together. They would put those things together in those scriptures, but he made it clear, the writ is clear, because of their abominable practices, not because of their skin color, because of their abominable practices. But we have teachers that people would consider good teachers that's online now, and they would start talking some race mixing stuff. A lot of people don't even know, a lot of pastors that they might have grew up listening to, they believe in some of this stuff about not race mixing and all of this other stuff, because everything else they say is so good, but they'll tell you, no, God don't want that. Did God make all of the races? These are a lot of things that we're throwing out here. Did God make all of the races? And that's where we get into serpent seed doctrine. No, there's another seed here, and all of that, a whole bunch of other stuff. Some people down here belong to the devil. They're children of the devil, and the two of us aren't to mix. What were that people? Where's Brown at? Brown, what's the other group when the sons of God were up in the mountains and the sons of the wicked one was down in the valley? What book that come from? Non-canonical book. And they was playing music and dancing, and they said, come down here and party with us. And they kept looking and they kept looking, and then they started to slowly persuade them. And they said, even if we wanted to come down there, how would we get? They said, come around the other side of the mountain. And they showed them the way they come down, and they brought the righteous people down to their level. Then when they got down to the party, it wasn't what they think it was. I got to put that in what you call it. That's one of them. That's one of them other books right there. I read too many of them other books. But that's an interesting story to show you that the righteous ones in the very beginning of time, the righteous ones or the righteous family were separated. When we started dealing with Cain and Abel, and they said it was a separate seed, a wicked seed, or people that had a bad nature. And then there were still people that wanted to do the will of Yah, to do the will of God, to walk in righteousness and just wait for the redemption because they believe a promise came from the gate. Let me try to read some of this stuff here. All right. Your scary self in the house. What is, oh, see, oh, now, wait, oh, you talking to an elder. He's saying, all right, let me try to go make one thing. Read Genesis and see what God said before created man. Let us make man in our own image and our own likeness. Somebody said, as above, so below. All right, I'm trying to go back. Jesus called the Pharisees, you are of your father, the devil, and they his people. What do you mean by that, Peter? Yes, I understand that. But a lot of people take that John 8:44 and run amok with it. Everybody from the Nation of Islam, the Clarence 13X, European racist groups, a lot of people take that and say that. And that's where the confusion comes in. Some people say, well, Jesus was from among the black Israelites, and the Pharisees were those were the white Israelite or the white Jews. And that argument right there is between the Jews, white Jewish people that's ruling the temple, and black Israelites, that's Jesus and them. And that we don't have in the text, but there are people that believe that. We don't got that in the text at all. Let me try to see what else is in here before I get out of here. All right, let me see. All right, anything else? Anybody else anybody, did I miss anything? Anybody from the anybody on the team, did I miss anything? I'm not sure about that one, Brian. Sound like the book. No. I don't think it's I don't know. I can't remember. It's not Nicodemus. It's in the lost books of the Bible and the forgotten books of Eden. It's in that. I know I read it from that. I got that on what you call it and the physical copy. It's in their story, but I can't remember which one. I don't think it's the gospel. I don't think it's the book of Nicodemus, but it's definitely in there. Y'all can get that for $2.99 or whatever. Y'all might be able to get that on the PDF. The tree of life. Shoot ahead. All right, let me see. The black Jews were studying. What's that? Talmud and Kabbalah. All right, I'm good. You said I'm good, Brown. I ain't forgetting anything. If I forgot anything, let me know. I'm gonna jump on here. Let me see how long I've been on. I took a couple of notes and I don't think I left anything out. I freestyle most of this here. Yeah, I think I got everything. We're gonna be on. I think me and my man, we're gonna be on. We still good for Friday night? Okay, 1 hour. Well, 1 hour, that's not too bad. All right, 1 hour, that's not too bad. All right, so apparently maybe it's too early for my peeps. Apparently nobody had anything. I thought that they would really, because everybody don't see eye to eye with you out there. I know we all don't see eye to eye, but a lot of people ain't seeing eye to eye with certain things. But you brought out, but what you brought out, it's not like it wasn't said before. They need to, other people need to do certain things, But at the same time, I don't want people to get thrown off. So the so-called shield of David. Oh yeah, we believe that shield of David. We believe all that stuff shaky right there. The up and down, as above, so below, the mystical side, yes, the Kabbalistic. That's how come when you start dealing with the shield of David, a lot of people think that we're dealing with Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben says 2 pyramids. He want to trace it back, but he was dealing with some mystical in Black Man of the Nile, not Black Man of the Nile, we the Black Jews. He want to take it back to Kemet, but a lot of people feel that because y'all know some priests, some preachers and stuff, some prophets and stuff were in Babylonian captivity. Some stayed back and got mixed up in some things, but people believe that Judaism, or what you would call the Israelite belief, went and took a bad mixing, took a bad turn when they went into Babylon, because in there they started mixing certain things. Then we have other people like Philo the Jew. You know, we had people, even church fathers like Clement of Alexandria. We had church fathers that were influenced. He came from philosophical thought. He was influenced by some other things. He was influenced by Greek philosophy. Church fathers. He was influenced by that. He became a leader in the church, and he had the catechismal school in Alexandria in Egypt. He believed, and I didn't want to get into this. Y'all got me going off the subject. I'm going in too hard right now. Church fathers like Clement, they started believing some other stuff. And he also believed that when you start dealing with Greek philosophy, he said Greek philosophy from Plato and them, that didn't even come from the Greeks. It originated with non-Greek people. What that book sound like right there? That sound like George M. James, 1954, Stolen Legacy. Church father, what are church fathers doing, believing that the Greeks received the knowledge or the theology, what they call men fight theology, that they received it from non-Greek people. That's why Socrates had to drink the hemlock. He was teaching another doctrine. Oh no, church folk, we don't want to discuss that. We don't want to discuss that because we don't want to show y'all no evidence that church fathers believe that some knowledge that came from the Greeks could have came from the Egyptians. That's the same thing Stolen Legacy was teaching. I'm saving that for the Patreon people. That's so we gonna go in with that. No, somebody else said, are we gonna no, not tonight, tomorrow night. I think we going in tomorrow night at 7:30. I'm gonna put the code up there. Let me see. That was a whole nother thing. Samaritans mixing up too. And then the Samaritans, certain things they changed, they were blocked. So, you know, when the Samaritan woman met Jesus, they got what's known as the Samaritan Pentateuch because they was totally separated. So they had their own writings from Moses, and certain things in there was different, like on what mountain to worship, because they couldn't go to Jerusalem and rock out with everybody else after they came out of captivity and Nehemiah and them set up shop again. So the Samaritans had their own place. So that's what the whole argument with a Samaritan woman in John 4 came to Jesus and said, you know, our father said this mountain is where we need to worship. And your father said that mountain, you know, and she knew that the Jews weren't dealing with the Samaritans because they were only half Israel. And, you know, because they mixed after they left, they were half. So, and you know, that's where he came up with his famous statement, like, you know, the hour is coming and now is when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such. You know, those are some good points. All right, y'all. I done been on here an hour. I done wild out for an hour. I'm gonna drop that thing in there if y'all wanna look out, show some love, drop it down in there. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna go out. We're gonna continue to give y'all content, but I wanted to just make sure I drop some stuff on here for y'all to just, you know, think about. There's a lot going on with the Israelites. We got the false flag thing. People will lump you together. It's just not Christians. So the news hears something, even the guy was there with the camp and then he left, or if he was in the camp, they'll lump everybody together. So y'all got to watch out for things like this. Remember, just like you had crazy people like Charles Manson and them, they wanted to excite a race war. Some people want to excite things to bring about the movement of Yah. It could have been regular Israelites. They'd be like, listen, we're gonna expose the European Jews for who they are, and they're gonna bring out the truth to our cause, and we're willing to die for it. People willing to die for strange things. Now, the problem is what spirit's leading them to do that. Can you die for the kingdom? Did the Zealots want to die and all that for the kingdom? Did the apostles die for their beliefs? Absolutely so. So we're going to always have people doing that. But we got to be careful and we got to understand which way this thing is going to go. And we got to know how we're going to have conversations based on it. Like I said, I like what my brother said. It's good to for people to begin to separate themselves and say, listen, this is what we believe in here. This is what we believe right here. A, B, C, and D. And, you know, and I think we're just living in the time. But we can't cut off communication with each other because of certain things. Are people going to begin to galvanize? I told you those guys were wicked. I can tell y'all right now, my church folk going to ride out. You see what they did, and we're going to spread this because this is points for us. This is points for us to show y'all Black Israel ain't nothing. But I can't say Black Israel ain't nothing because of certain groups of people or because somebody did A, B, C, and D. I'll never sit here and say John MacArthur and them and try to put John MacArthur and James White alongside the Ku Klux Klan. I'm not finna do that. But people will do it, and they do it all of the time. All right, let me see. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I think I'm gonna get out of here. All right, y'all. I'm going. I see my phone ringing. I don't know what they're saying. But we'll be back on in a couple of days. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all support. If y'all like what y'all heard, subscribe. Give me some thumbs up. That's what my man would say. Give me some thumbs up and come and consider joining us on that Patreon, becoming a partner. I put the other links inside there. Or y'all just want to give y'all just want to get us some chicken wings, whatever y'all want to do. Y'all want to look, I'll get us some coffee. We get the coffee. We get to come in here wilding out and telling y'all some truth that them folk don't like. Whatever it is, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all prayers, y'all support, and y'all love. All right, good.